There was at this time, my friend, a great famine in the land. Now in the land there grew a great tree with fine fruit. But it was known that this fruit would only drop when someone spoke the name of the tree. So as the famine grew worse and worse, the people came and lived near the tree, waiting for the fruit to ripen. When the fruit was almost ripe, it was found with dismay that no one knew the name of the tree. So they said, "Let us send the hare to the chief over the mountains in order that he might tell us the name." The hare accordingly set forth and soon reached the kraal of the chief over the mountains. And when he asked the chief for the name of the tree, the chief replied, "That tree is called Uwangalema. When you get back, stand beneath it and say, 'Uwangalema,' and the fruit will fall." So the hare hurried on his way back to his people. But he had not gone far on the path when he tripped over a root and rolled down the hill. And before he reached the bottom, the name of the tree had gone out of his head. He tried all the names he knew, and many others as he went along. What was it, he said? "Uwala, ulangalela wama, umalalele wangala, ulala wengli lolo hula wa, walo wengli lula." No. All the way he tried to remember, but when he arrived at the tree, although he tried many words, not one single piece of fruit fell. Now the people said they would send the springbok, for he was so swift he would return before he had forgotten the word. So the springbok set out and arrived there in no time. Then the chief told him, "That tree is called Uwangalema." And he started back as fast as he could to return to his people. But in his haste, he tripped over an anthill. And before he could pick himself up, the name was gone. He tried all the names he knew on the way, but in vain. "Ulala weli hula wange, wengili hula lama, lamili huwangalelo." No. It was all in vain. When he got back, all he could say was, and that, of course, was no use. So the people said they would send the kudu, for he was stronger and would not fall on the way. So the kudu set out and soon arrived at the chief's kraal. The chief over the mountains told him, "The name of that tree is Uwangalema." And the kudu thanked him and started back. But on his way, he caught his horns in the branches of a tree. And while he was freeing himself, he forgot to say the word, and it went completely out of his head. And when he had freed himself, it was gone, disappeared. And when he returned to his people, he had to admit that he had forgotten it. The people now had a council, and they said they would send the lion, for he was both swift and strong, and he had no horns to catch in trees. The lion got the word from the chief over the mountains and started home, repeating the word over and over to himself. But the sun was hot, and he was tired, and he thought he would just lie down to rest in the shade of a bush, and he slept. But when he woke, the name was gone out of his head. Now the lion was too proud to admit he had forgotten the word, so he made up a word and said it many times to the tree, but no fruit fell. Then the people said, "Nonsense, there is no such word. You are no better than the others, for you have forgotten also." And they were very sad, for their hunger was growing and the fruit was ripening. At last the elephant said, "Let us send the tortoise." All the animals laughed, for they were sure no one so slow could remember. But the lion said, "No, let him go. Since we have all failed, it is best that he should fail also." But before the tortoise left, he went to his mother and asked her, "How does one remember a very hard word?" His mother said, "If you wish to remember it, son, do not stop saying it for any reason." After a long, long time, the tortoise reached the kraal of the chief over the mountains, and the chief told him, "That tree is called Uwangalema." The tortoise asked him again, and the chief told him yet again, "Uwangalema." The tortoise asked him a third time, and the chief said the word yet again, "Uwangalema." So then he set out saying the name to himself over and over again, and when he came to the anthill, he said, "Uwangalema," as he went around it. When he came to the tree, he just went on saying it. And again when he came to the bush, although he was very tired and it was very hot, he only said, "Uwangalema," and kept on. At last he reached his home, and his wife said, "You are very tired. Will you not rest?" But the tortoise said, "Uwangalema," and went on. When he reached his friends underneath the tree, they all said, "What is the name? Tell us the name of the tree." And he said, Uwelalong. Oh, he composed himself and thought very hard for a minute, and slowly it came out. Uwangalema! And the fruit immediately began to fall. And the people ate and were hungry no longer, and they said, "We will make the tortoise chief over all the people, for he has brought us the name of the tree." And now, my friend, can you remember what was the name of that tree?